Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
This is take 2 of this video because we had technical problems.
Yeah, I forgot to hit the save button on my audio feed.
And
so this is a setup now.
And I forgot to turn on my backup microphone. So anyway, regardless of
That's right.
we ought to be really good at this one because we've done it before.
You don't eat meat? That's okay. We'll have lamb.
Now this is a recipe, or based on a recipe from the new sponsor, one of our new sponsors on the Basic Brewing Radio side, Groenfell Meadery. If you go to groenfell.com, you can find recipes like this one, and you can also order their meads online, which is pretty cool. So this is the Chaos Cyser recipe. And a Cyser, if you don't know, is a combination between a mead and a cider. So it is a mead with apple juice in it. So I just happened to find out that there is a local beekeeper, and here's some local honey right here from this local beekeeper. His name is Caleb Hutcherson. And I went out and visited him and recorded an interview with him for the audio show. He lives here in Prairie Grove near Bob Kidd Lake. And he is an enterprising young man, and he actually goes out and does what they call cutouts. So in other words, if there are bees in the walls of your house, he'll come and cut them out and take the honey and the bees with him. Or he captures wild swarms of bees. Say if you've got one in your trees or your shrubs or whatever, he'll come and take care of that. So as a result of this, he's got 50 beehives of his own.
Jeez.
And so he's got a lot of honey, and I acquired some honey from him to make this recipe. So I started out with a gallon or 3.8 liters of water, and I heated it up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 C. And this is about a 2-gallon batch. And then I added 3 pounds or 1 quart of this honey. That's 1.36 kilograms of this honey. And I stirred it in nicely. And then I added 2 quarts or 1.9 liters of apple juice in there as well. Stirred it up and took a gravity reading. And I was shooting for around 1050. So I added some more water. In fact, I added 2 quarts or 1.9 liters more to get me down to 1.054 starting gravity, so 1054. So I cooled the must to pitching temperature in an ice bath, and then I thought I had some yeast on hand, or I didn't want to go get yeast, so I pitched rehydrated bread yeast, Fleischmann's rapid bread yeast, along with 1 teaspoon of yeast nutrient on the pitching day. The next day I added another teaspoon, or half a teaspoon, and the next day after that I added another half a teaspoon, and it fermented down so within a week. So on the 8th day, I believe, I transferred from the fermenter into a Mr. Beer keg, little Mr. Beer keg, and I bottled 7 plain. And then I added 4 teaspoons of vanilla in that little keg and bottled an additional 13 with that vanilla. So starting gravity 1054, final gravity 0.998 for an ABV of 7.4%. So pretty easy. I love making meads and Cysers because at least the way I do it, it's easy. I think they turn out pretty good. Do you want to taste the plain Cyser first?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
right here.
I carbonated. I put in one of those carb drops.
I was going to say, the first thing that I noticed, I haven't tasted it again yet, but it was far more carbonated than the first time we did it.
Yeah, I can't remember how long it was in the bottle the first time we tried it, but man, look at that.
Look at that.
Isn't that pretty? Beautiful.
Yeah. Really nice.
Oh, yeah, it's
really
pretty
nice.
nice. What do you think, Steve?
I think it's very good. I've got to admit, it's still got a little bit of that bread yeast wang to it. I can't help it.
That's my nickname in high school.
Bread yeast yang. Well, that was your Bollywood when you were doing those Bollywood films. Remember that? your stage name was Bread Yeast Wang. Not too many people know that, but
Now,
I've known you a long time.
now the first time, a couple weeks ago when we first recorded this,
Yeah.
you said that you didn't like the yeast character. There was something about the yeast character that you didn't like. So is it aged out a little better?
Yeah, it actually has. Yeah, it has aged out. It's a little milder. I can still tell it's bread yeast. It doesn't make it bad. I really don't mean to be complaining here. I'm just offering my semi-educated palate to all of our viewers. So it still tastes like you brewed this with bread yeast.
Ah.
That doesn't mean that it tastes bad. It just tastes like bread yeast. Kind of like if you dunked some pizza in it and then took a big bite. No, it's really good, and I would be happy to sit and drink this all afternoon. In fact, I might.
Now let's taste the vanilla, or let's pour the. You say what you want to say, and then we'll pour.
Well, I was just going to say that the apple character is really coming out nicely in this. Mm-hmm. So it's really got a nice apple character, and it also has the honey notes are in there the way they ought to be as well.
Yeah.
So really I don't even mean to complain about the yeast. It's just really a nice summer session mead.
Yeah. At 7.4%, for a beer that would be big, for meads, that's fairly.
For mead,
small.
forget about it. Okay, here's the one that you spiked with vanilla.
Vanilla extract. And that was 4 teaspoons in 13 bottles worth of mead.
Nice.
Oh. It's the kind of thing where I wouldn't say that there was vanilla in it. If you just gave this to me and said, what's the flavoring? I don't think that I would pick it out as vanilla. It just kind of rounds out the sharp edges of the original one.
It's a softer flavor. I like it, but I don't dislike it, but I like the first one better, the one without vanilla. I like that. It has a little bit more of a citrus. The flavor is a little sharper in contestant number 1. Mm-hmm. In the vanilla one, it's rounder and softer. It's quite good. But I happen to like that little bit sharper, a little bit more of the edge on the first one.
They're both very dry, but not...
See, I don't think they're that dry.
They're not astringent, though.
Mm-mm. They both got a nice residual sweetness, actually. They're
Oh, wow. Those are real good.
They're really nice. I mean, both of these came out great. I like the first one as far as coming back and having seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths. That honey is just brilliant too. That's beautiful honey.
Yeah.
And boy, that's a tip I'd give everybody out there that's thinking about starting to make mead, is get the best honey you can get. It doesn't have to be the most exotic honey in the world, but if you can get good local honey like James has got there, that you can vouch for, that it's local, or I should say it's of high quality. There is a lot of adulterated honey on the market, so you have to be careful. But if you have a friend or a friend of a friend that keeps some bees, how much better can you get?
Yeah.
And otherwise, just go to a reputable dealer, somebody that you trust, maybe a store like mine, or your local co-op. If you've got a good homebrew store that happens to carry honey, I bet you can trust them.
Yeah.
If not, then a local co-op, dare I say it, Whole Foods, someplace like that. They're going to have Trader Joe's. They're going to have good. They're going to have good honey, and use it. It's worth it.
I look forward to this. Is a couple of shades darker, I think, because Caleb said that this is the first one that I got was early season honey, which is more like clover honey, and he says what he the wildflower honey that he gets at the later part of the season is darker, and what this is apparently a blend between the two. So,
Yep.
I think I'm going to, rather than a lower gravity mead, I'm thinking about making a higher gravity mead with your advice and help. So I can't wait to dig into that.
Yeah, that'll be
All right.
great.
Well,
and that's
thank-
true. You want to
Go ahead.
think about the time of year that you get your honey. The later in the season it is, the darker it is, the heavier it is, and that's because of the type of flowers that happen to be in bloom. So yeah, so early spring honey, it's the most coveted honey. You might have to pay a little bit more for it, or even order it in advance if you've got somebody that you can get it from locally. Just get your name in there and get it reserved. Yeah.
All right. Go to check out the recipes yourself at groenfell.com and see what they've got to offer. Thanks to them for the recipe. Thanks to Caleb for the honey. And thank you, Steve,
You're welcome.
for doing take 2.
Well, if I hadn't screwed up take 1, we.
But this is so much better.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody. Happy
All right.
brewing. Talk to you next time.
Cheers.
Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com.
Oh,
That's really good.
yeah.